This is our 5,000 square foot gold extraction plant. We'll take you inside in a minute to show you the inside. This is the inside of our 5,000 square foot plant. There's the furnace, safety ware, crucibles that hold the ore, the capelling furnace, another gold treating furnace, mixing area, ore, flux privacy area, flux mixing area, our maintenance room, our gold final lab area, entrance to our office, and our employee break area. This is our office at Oxide Minerals. We go by the name of Oxide Minerals because we don't want to tell people we're in the gold extraction business. So part of what Oxide Minerals is to take color out of dirt. So that's why you see pictures on the wall of colors, and it gives us an opportunity not to tell everybody what we do. This is a picture of our ore processing center. Of course, everything in our case starts with the ore itself that has the microscopic and nanoparticle ores. And once that ore is brought to us, most of the time the ore is actually wet. So we have what they call an ore dryer, which you see right in front of me. And I'm going to move to the side. This is a propane gas ore dryer. These are the electronics that makes it work, and the ore goes in that portion there and eventually comes out the other end over here where the ore is completely dry. Now the reason we need that ore dry is because when we put it into our crusher, which is right here, the ore must be completely dry to get it to the finest level that it needs. This helps liberate the microscopic gold that is in there. Now this very large thing here that is hooked up to both the dryer and the crusher is called a dust collector, because most of the ore will have very fine particles of dust that still has microscopic gold in it, so we don't want to lose it into the air or somewhere else because there's gold inside of it. So we process all of our ore by drying it, crushing it, and keeping all the fine particles there. And after that is done, we then take it to the inside of our plant to process it in the furnace. This is where we store our proprietary flux. This is our secret formula, as you would say, that makes the microscopic gold drop out of the ore. Now we do keep it locked up, and anyone that comes here cannot enter this building but employees. It's kind of like we don't want to share our secret sauce with you. Now over here, one of our employees is mixing the flux for a particular ore. Now, how he goes about and does the mixing is based upon each one of the items in the ore, and they're actually numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and on. Now, while he's mixing it, what he's doing is preparing the mix for a specific ore based on weight of the amount of ore we're going to do and the type of pour that we're going to do. We won't get into any more details, but we actually do this as an individual basis for every pour that we actually do. After this, we'll show you the very simple way that we mix this flux, and then we mix this flux in with the ore. Okay, right now we're actually taking that flux that we prepared and we're going to mix it in a very simple mixer. We have to mix up the individual flux that was prepared for a specific ore, a specific amount of ore, and the type of ore. Now it's put in here, put a top on it, and it's a very simple just mixer. And all it is sealed in there, and then it's put to a position, and then it's turned on. And once that's done mixing, we're going to mix it with the actual ore for the pour. Now our next step is to take the mixed flux and we're going to mix it with the actual ore that we're treating. So the flux has been mixed, and now we're just pouring in the ore that relates to that particular flux. And then all we do is put the top on, and then in turn begin to mix both the flux and the ore so it is thoroughly mixed so it can do what it needs to do while it's in the furnace. And it's as simple as that. This is our 2,000 plus degree propane furnace. This is what we put the ore in to treat it to extract the microscopic gold. These are the actual panels for running the furnace, which opens the lid. It actually turns the furnace when we're pouring it. And this is the actual molds that we pour the ore, the metal, and the flux into after the pour. Over here is an air system. This provides extra air to the actual flame, which increases the temperature and also actually controls the temperature. But this is what makes the whole place work. All right, we're actually making a pour from a testing that we were just doing. Obviously, see our employees are in safety gear, safety's first. And you see the furnace is pouring in. This is not a large pour, this is a smaller pour. It is one of our newer ores that we are testing. And what happens is, inside of the pour, there's actually our proprietary flux mix, turns into a molten lava, which actually turns into glass later. And so what you're going to see being poured out, part of it, is the actual flux, and the last part of it is the actual lead or metal that is holding the microscopic gold. Now, this furnace itself gets up to about 2,250 degrees. Now, as the pour begins, you'll see what looks like molten lava. It looks like gold, but it's not actually gold. And there we go. The pour is happening. Now, when it pours out like that, and all the flames and all that stuff is because it's a couple thousand degrees. And so what it's doing is pouring the slag or the flux. It's also pouring the lead out. And then we will take that process and actually then extract the microscopic gold from there. Now, once the bar has been poured, you're looking at over 2,000 degrees of both flux, ore, and metal. The metal is at the actual bottom of that, which creates the dory bar. And that's where the microscopic gold has slowly fallen through the ore to end up in the metal. Later, we will show you the capelling process of how it extracts the gold. Now, once we pour that dory bar and we dump it out, what you're seeing is the glass that surrounds it, and all of the lead fell to the bottom. And so we're separating the lead from the glass that really is the proprietary flux that surrounds the metal. There are sometimes small parts of gold that get stuck in the glass. We never get all of the microscopic gold out of the ore, but the majority of it falls right in to this dory bar. And this dory bar, again, it's made of lead, and we're just simply taking the glass off of it. Then we will cut it, and then we will in turn put it into the capelling furnace. Next step. This is what we call our capelling furnace. And what we've done is we've taken a capel, which is what sucks the lead out into this capel at a temperature that makes the lead melt, and what it does, it leaves by the precious metals behind, the gold, the silver, platinum, palladium, or anything that's in the ore. And then we shut this up, and then we turn it on to the desired temperature. And once the capelling is all done, one comes out as a nice gold bead on the inside.